Hello, everybody. Welcome to episode 28 of BitLapse. I am your host, as usual, Dave, with my co-host, Jaime.
Hello.
That's not even nice. I was actually being very professional today. I was going to bring up your lack of hosting prowess, but you know what? He's sitting here on his camera flicking me off while I'm trying to do a serious show here. There's serious stuff to be announced in the world of video gaming this week.
If anybody knows...
And you can't even take it serious.
Okay, and if anybody knows Dave, like I know Dave, hardly ever serious. Hardly ever.
The thing is, I did pretty well right there because I didn't have the usual shit-eating grin that would be on my face when I'm talking crap.
True, you got a point. You did have that. You actually were being actually somewhat professional and going through the intro. So I was actually kind of impressed.
I am always professional in the intro, sir.
Moving on.
Yeah, see, your guttural noises, I'll take that as, you're right, Dave. We should move on to EA Access. If you remember, then you are getting pretty excited. It is rolling out to 19 other countries later this month, and they will be adding Need for Speed Rivals into the vault.
Yeah, they're going to have that actually sometime in September, so actually this month. So it's supposed to be out soon, and I'm actually kind of excited. It's kind of nice to see that, obviously it's brand new and, they should be supporting it, but they're really kind of making it, nice so that for us to be able to get into these games, like, I do have Need for Speed Rivals on PC, but, now I can have it on Xbox One. I can actually play with other people as well. So, you know what? This has not turned out to be a bad thing at all. So I've been kind of happy that the fact that EA Access has been really good for me anyways. I mean, there's games that I never thought I would really play, and because they've either come to the vault or the fact is that they're available on a trial, I get to try them out for 5 days on the trial, or I get to play them full access if they're in the vault. So I've been super pleased with the EA Access so far.
And you really only get the trial if you actually pre-order, though, right?
No, you can.
So you had access to the new Madden,
yeah,
even though you didn't buy it,
right?
Oh, okay. Okay, I was just trying to clear that up because I was never really sure about that. Speaking of new trials, since NHL 15 comes out next week at the same time as Destiny, the trial should be coming out later this week, correct?
Correct. It'll be out this Thursday.
So they'll give you time to get in there. There's already a demo out. I'm not entirely sure what is in that demo. I know that you tried it. What were your first impressions of that demo?
Well, I mean, actually, it looked nice. So, I mean, like they said, visually, they've upgraded a lot of the visual effects. It looks super nice.
Well, it's on the new engine, so it should look nice, and they took last year off.
Right, and it was, when I started talking to you about it, to me, I think the controllers felt different for me. I thought it was different when I played some of the
But then, yeah,
and then
when you were talking to me, I'm like, no, that's exactly how it
was
responded.
Yeah.
That's how you controlled it. So,
yeah, I guess it was just me getting used to playing again that way. But it looked nice. It was basically a demo. You, just like all the other rest of the demos, you've got a one-on-one match, and you picked... actually, they had the LA Kings, and then I think you could play.
Usually it's a championship game.
Right, and then, I can't remember who the other team was, but right, it was the championship.
It was the Rangers.
Rangers, exactly. So, obviously, you got to play it. Really nice. Like I said, visually, it was really nice. Fluid. It felt very fluid to me anyways. The changing over to the different players was really nice. It wasn't as hard to switch players or anything like that. So,
yeah, but this is all the stuff that you couldn't remember in the first place, and now you're saying it's not that hard anymore.
Well,
I'm just throwing that out there.
No. I do remember some of the gameplay of all the other NHL games that we play. I just remember used to having a hard time trying to get back to the player that I wanted to get to. So, when you and I usually play up against each other, you would be coming down and attacking, and I was trying to get to my defense, and I would literally have to flip through almost all my players. You didn't have to do that now. You just point down and then hit the button or the thumbstick to the guy that you wanted to switch to, and it automatically went to your back defense, which was kind of nice. And obviously, it also did it to whoever was closest to the puck. So that's what also was nice too. But they had that
right.
too.
There's always a button to switch the closest defender to the puck in the first place, but it wasn't always he wasn't always in the best position as he was just closest. So
right.
He could have already been behind the person going up on the break. I'm still not going to buy it.
No, and neither am I.
Both NHL and EA Access. I'm glad that they're adding more value to it with Need for Speed Rival.
Right.
But just like you, I have it for PC, and I played the crap out of it for PC. And all this does is remind me I still have the last huge race to do in the campaign.
Yeah, I remember we were just discussing that on Twitter earlier today, and I couldn't remember what big race you have to do, but I think it's on.
It's a 30-mile race that goes around the entire playfield, and that is the final race.
Holy crap, that's huge.
So I still have that to do, and I should do that at some point. I was waiting for somebody else to do it at the same time as me, so maybe they could take some of the heat away from me with the cops, so I'd have a better chance. But I guess that's not going to happen because it's just taking two people too long to actually get through it.
Yeah.
And like I said, it came out last year about this time. Oh no, it was like November,
Right?
Because it was a launch title for Xbox One, PlayStation 4. Speaking of new releases, one that you're pretty excited about, just because it's another free-to-play game on Xbox One. It's already been on the PlayStation 4, but it's Warframe, which is now available today, which is, well, it was Tuesday, September 2nd.
Right. And if you had your system to turn on automatically and had the downloads on, it would have automatically downloaded for you too. So if you had that on and you go through your games and you notice that you actually have Warframe and you didn't do it, it automatically downloaded for you. It sounded like they're trying to push this game. But I played it today, and I played just the first mission, and it has changed immensely from the time that I played it on PC, which
the time that you played it and paid for some money.
Yeah, and I did. I did actually pay into
during
the game.
beta.
I did. I paid into that because I wanted some of the different weapons and the different crafting material that you actually had to get. So I did pay a little bit into it, and I was playing it. You know, you always want to back up the games that you think that you're going to end up playing. I thought I was going to continue to keep playing it, but from the time that I played, which was the alpha and the beta, it really has evolved and has totally changed. Like I was telling you earlier, Dave, you know, the story has kind of evolved. Before, there was a semi-story to it in the beta, but it really didn't give like there wasn't a nemesis. Well, in the Xbox One version, there's this nemesis. There's this group, and I mean, you had, you're considered the Tano, and this is this group of species, being in their warframes. And now,
yeah, that was all in the beta. It's just it wasn't thrown at you in your face. You actually had to read.
True.
And I read it back then.
Oh,
I guess you didn't.
No,
you just jumped right in and started playing
exactly.
it. Exactly. So yeah, all that stuff was there in the first place. It just seems like it's more, not, I wouldn't say fleshed out, but it's more there,
right,
as a means to drive you through the gameplay, which the gameplay was what really bored me during the beta.
And that's what I was telling you earlier. You know, we get into these heated discussions about, you know, he doesn't want to play it because, and all I'm really asking was just to try it and just so you can see the difference that there was. But there is a huge difference from the time that or the time that I played it. And honestly, I haven't played the PC version recent. But from when I had played that to the Xbox version, two totally different games. Totally different games.
It probably still doesn't, like one of my major problems was that all the environments seemed the same.
No, not even close.
Okay, this has come from the guy that couldn't remember how to play NHL.
And
that's all I'm going to say. I'm not going to try it because
no, I understand.
I've got Diablo to play, which we're going to get to later.
Right.
I've got Thief that I got for $1 that I want to play through that I haven't actually tried.
Okay.
I've got, see what else do I have? Guacamelee that I haven't played through yet that I want to.
Well, obviously there's tons
Neverwinter I'm playing.
Right.
Destiny comes out next week.
Well,
I don't have time for a free-to-play game that I already wrote off and threw away.
Dave, all I'm saying
back during the beta because it was boring.
Look, all I'm saying this, Dave, and don't even play it. Go watch my YouTube video that I put out today, or actually it will be put out tonight. I'm sorry, I just finished recording it. I want you to go to our YouTube channel, go watch it, and you'll see the difference of the game, and you'll be shocked of how different it looks. 100%. So for those who go to our YouTube channel, I'll have it up by tonight. It'll be up there for you guys tomorrow morning. Go check it out. You guys will like it, and it's definitely a game to actually go look and actually try. If you like those first-person shooters,
but with Destiny being around the corner,
True.
what is the incentive to try Warframe?
There is no incentive. What I'm just trying to, I guess, pitch is that the fact. No,
So basically, what you're trying to say is that this is the worst possible time to put a free-to-play game that's multiplayer and a shooter,
obviously,
and kind of an MMO.
No, and you're right, 100%. I mean, obviously, here's my dilemma, people, and I'll make this sweet. There are so many good games coming out right now, and just me to go back to Warframe, it was just for me to go back and actually to take a look at it again. Honestly, I've downloaded it and I'll keep it. These are the games. There's those games that you kind of keep in the back, like Diablo 3, and which we'll get into that, and Warframe, and even
So you're gonna put 8 hours into Warframe in one night, like we did with Diablo last night?
Yeah, there might be a time where
I'm talking about 8 hours straight.
No, not
because we played for a good amount of time
Holy
last
cow,
night.
that was nuts. But we can discuss that again. My point being is that there's some really good games out there, and what I'm really trying to do is actually pitch these games out there that I've actually played in the past that are now becoming or resurfacing again, coming on consoles now. Even though it's been on console for the PlayStation 4, now coming to Xbox One. This has been what I've been I would say dreaming about, is having a lot of these PC games that console players have never had the chance to or experience such great games. And Warframe has evolved immensely from what it started out to be and what it is now. Same thing with all the Diablo games. They have all been all PC games, and now
No, they haven't. We've been through this before.
Oh, that's right. You said
the
PC,
first Diablo was
right.
on PlayStation.
Well, point being is that now they're coming more out more.
Yeah, but the real question is, we need to find somebody that doesn't have Xbox Live Gold and see if they can actually play Warframe.
It's free to play.
That will be the differentiator, because that's one thing that I've been concerned about with Xbox Live, because Sony has come out and said, hey, you can play Warframe for free no matter what.
That's true, and we never tested that.
And yeah, we'll have to ask Mandy. I know she doesn't have Xbox Live Gold, but trying to get her to turn on her Xbox might be a kind of a chore within itself. Or one of our listeners can hopefully fill us in on that, or we can just do a little bit more research.
Yes, true.
Who knows? Doing a little bit of research today, we saw that Minecraft was rumored to be coming out on PlayStation 4 very soon. It was up on the European store, I think it was the French store, very shortly for $20. Then they took it down. Then they decided to announce the Xbox One version coming this Friday for $20. Now, Minecraft is a huge game. It's been huge on almost every platform that is hit. Actually, not almost every platform that has hit. It has been huge. The one cool thing that I noticed from this, though, is if you do own the digital version of Minecraft on 360, you'll be able to get the Minecraft on Xbox One for only $5 as an upgrade fee, which I think is totally reasonable, because you're expanding your gameplay, because it's going to be a bigger world and stuff like that.
So I think what's going to end up happening,
if you're still playing it, you may as well pay the $5 and get the upgrade.
Yeah, and I think what's going to end up happening is that you might be able to, kind of like what they did Diablo 3, if you had it on Xbox 360, it'll carry over. Again, I'm not sure if that's what's going to happen.
I don't think it's going to carry over, because it's going to be a totally different...
You think so?
Yeah, because it's going to be bigger worlds and stuff like that.
I would just think that you might be able to carry over some of the stuff that you had. I mean, maybe not like your worlds that you've created.
Totally different game save system and everything like that. I doubt they're going to have that. Well, I think you're starting from scratch.
No, because what happened to Diablo 3? It was on Xbox 360.
Yeah, but no, that's all your character information is saved on Blizzard servers.
Okay.
As opposed to your individual Xbox.
That's what I'm saying.
So Blizzard has different ways to handle that data. Minecraft, that data is saved on your Xbox. That's a local save. It's not saved on an external server. So there's a totally different story, and I wouldn't believe that Minecraft could upgrade like that.
Well, that's what I was asking. I was wondering if it was all put onto your hard drive, your local hard drive, versus it being on something on their servers at all. So no, I don't know.
They don't have servers of their own.
No, that's true. You get a point. Mahjong doesn't have none of that stuff. So, everybody loves Minecraft. It's
I wouldn't say everybody. There's people that don't understand it, and then I just tell them it's adult Legos, and then they kind of get it a little bit.
It is somewhat adult Lego like, but I mean, we played it for a while. We played it with our buddy Jay and Miguel, and you know, we kind of had fun for a while, but it just kind of just.
Well, for you, it kind of fizzled out right away.
It did. It just
for me, I played for several hours. I probably put at least 40 to 60 hours in on the 360 version because I just wasn't sold on the PC version yet, just because of the difficulty of getting into it, creating a server and stuff like that.
Right.
I just never got into it like that. And I know Jay, for instance, and Miguel, they both play with their kids, so they put in tons of hours into that game too.
And here's the funny part. This game has become such a craze. Even my 7-year-old son is just, he loves this game. He knows every in and out of this game, as well as all the different mods that are on the Xbox 360. And on top of that, if he's not playing the game, he's YouTubing videos of different people playing the game, seeing different, mods and different things that they're. Even I don't know if you've seen it, Dave. There's actual Minecraft songs. They've taken parodies of those songs.
I know. It's not just a West Coast 7-year-old thing. It's also an East Coast 7-year-old thing with both my nephews and my niece, who is now 12.
Yeah,
is still really interested in Minecraft, and she just started playing on the PC version of it, like probably a year ago.
It's just amazing.
And downloading mods and stuff like that, and playing with her friends in school and stuff. So it's one of those games that has left a imprint on the industry, whether you like it or not. And like every game that comes out now is pretty much like saw what Minecraft was doing and put their own little individual spin on it.
Well,
whether that, like I said, be good or bad.
Right. And there's different variations of Minecraft. There's Terraria. Excuse me.
That's not even Minecraft though.
Well,
it's a totally different game.
It has the same concept. Tell me, it has somewhat of the concept of you're finding and you're crafting and you're going down.
But it was more of a game before Minecraft became a game.
True.
Minecraft was still in the early beta stages while Terraria became a real game.
Yeah. Honestly, I didn't know.
Which Minecraft now is really, really crazy because of all the stuff that you can do in it when they have like villagers and stuff. It's kind of crazy.
It's nuts. I mean,
how far it's actually come.
Yeah, I mean.
But then again, you throw money at this thing, and that pile of money is huge.
But think about it.
They have time to work on it. So
I think about it. How, I mean, there's nothing visually great about it. It is a 16-bit or 32-bit game, and it's huge. It's a huge success, and that just tells you alone it's not about the graphics to make tons and millions of dollars. It's
about the freedom.
Yeah,
to be able to do what you want to do.
Yeah, so I'm happy to see that.
Like it says, the sandbox. Everybody likes the sandbox.
True.
Until you're the big bully and you're getting sand thrown down your pants. That has never happened to me, by the way. But moving on to what we were basically talking about already. We both just purchased Diablo 3 Ultimate Evil Edition for Xbox One.
Mm-hmm.
We both got it on Friday.
Yep.
Interesting thing before we start talking about the game is I couldn't find that game in stores anywhere around here.
Really? You had a hard time?
No, I didn't have a hard time. I could not find it at all.
Wow.
Like I tried Walmart, I tried Target, I tried Best Buy, GameStop, all sold out. And it was pretty much on all platforms all sold out too.
Jeez.
So I was basically forced to buy it digitally.
I didn't have that problem whatsoever. I mean, I went to the nearest GameStop, and the funny thing, though, they only had one copy left. But
yeah, see, there was no copies left. So it's like, for me to see that happening for a game like Diablo, that's amazing. Especially since Madden came out at the same time. So I'm thinking that when we see the MPDs for last month come around, that Madden might actually have some competition at that top spot. Which would be kind of like a first time ever.
I bet you Diablo 3 or Blizzard's Diablo 3 has outbeaten Madden.
I'm not saying that.
Madden
is still a huge thing, and it's kind of hard to get rid of that. But it's, like I said, it'll be competition. It's going to be hard to beat Madden because it's such a player there every year,
Right.
and they basically own August all the time. So it'll be interesting to see those numbers when it comes out. Anyways, back to the game. I put in like 8 hours of it last night.
We put in.
No, you kept on disappearing to go do your stuff, like eating dinner, taking out the garbage,
Oh yeah. Well,
throwing the kid in the bath.
ultimately, I was pretty darn close to whatever you did. It was a long night. Um, I have to.
And
admit,
we both own it on PC. We played 40 hours on the PC version.
it's one of those games that you can come back to, and even though you've played it before, you can get right back into the game, starting from 0 level and work yourself back up. And it is definitely a game that can really get you enthralled because it's all about the gear, and all you want to do is go out there and kill and create your character, whatever it is. If you haven't played Diablo 3, it's really just a dungeon crawler, and you've got 4, or actually I think it's 5, 6 different classes now, and each different class have different abilities, and you go with a group of four people, and you go and you do these little storyline things, little storylines that they give you. And ultimately, you're trying to get to Diablo. You've got all these little mini bosses on top of these, the main bosses, and they all drop these huge amount of loot, whether it's gold, whether it's crafting material, or it's a weapon in itself, And in a nutshell, that's basically Diablo. And it's fun.
Yeah, and it's the loot grind that you're always constantly trying to get better equipment, and the fact that it doesn't take 100% of your attention.
No.
The fact that you can, one of my complaints about the PC versions that it's hard to get comfortable with a keyboard and a mouse.
Right.
Like sitting at a desk, sitting up straight with keyboard and mouse, and sit there and play for hours on end. But now that I can sit there with a controller in my hand, put my legs up, and just sit there playing, like mind-numbingly playing, and then just talking with friends and BSing. It's like the perfect game for that. It's kind of like the Uno I have been waiting for this generation of game consoles.
Yeah.
Because there's just not that sit back, relax, and bullshit kind of game. And this fills that niche like perfectly for me. And you say you'll keep on going back to it, but I think I'll play it more than probably Destiny when it comes out even.
I don't know about that far.
But then again, I'm not as excited for Destiny as you are.
That's true. But it still is something that, if I need a rest or take a break from Destiny, I can go to Diablo 3 and hop in a game with you. And that's the best part of the whole game, is that no matter what level you are, he could be 10 levels ahead of me and I can still jump in the same game with him. I can still actually help out, and he can actually help me out by help me level quicker. So, that's kind of like what the beauty of Diablo 3 was. It's just that you can jump in and out of the game at any point in time, join your friends.
Yeah, it's also a curse too, because sometimes you do have friends with high, really extremely high, character levels, and then you just kind of steamroll.
Well, that's what we were doing last night.
Like what we were doing last night. And it was at the point where I felt bad if I stopped to go see if there's something I can craft that's better than what I had.
Oh, I didn't. Screw them. I honestly, they jumped into our game.
Yeah, but the thing is, it felt like I was going to miss something if I didn't go back to you guys.
No, I mean, like I said,
instead of working at my own pace, even though it was slower, I do enjoy that you can see the crazy shit that their characters can do at those levels, right. But it's just something about earning your way as opposed to just grasping onto the back of their neck and being carried around like a cape kind of thing.
True, it did kind of feel like that at the end. I mean, Dave and I were in our level 30s when they had joined us. By the end of the night, we were mid 40s, so we jumped 15 levels within a couple of hours.
10 levels.
Or 10 levels. No.
Why don't you learn how to do math? We're like 32, 33, and we jumped to like 44.
Oh, okay. Well, so 10 levels that we jumped within a couple of hours. I mean, literally, you could have we sat there, and on top of that, they were handing us loot left and right. Now, we don't advise you to play that.
Well, it was loot that we couldn't really use, though.
No, there wasn't. But actually, there was some things that a couple of guys gave me that I was able to use. But it doesn't mean that you have to play that way either. And realize one thing. the game is short for a reason. It's not a long game. It's short because what was that? Was that you?
That was me saying you're acting like it's a short game, but it's not actually a short game at all.
It is a short game. Come on, how many hours?
No.
How many hours would it take to get to the end to Diablo? Maybe 4.
If you played by yourself?
Yeah, first round.
If you played by yourself, it'd probably take 15 hours. That's not a short game.
I don't know if it's 15 hours. That seems kind of too long for me.
If you do what I do, which is explore every single area of the map and dungeons and look for every little corner to see if there's any loot there, it's going to take you 12 to 15 hours.
Maybe.
And that's probably on normal. Normal or hard.
No,
Expert,
that's what I was saying.
It's going to take you a lot longer.
Yeah, no, I agree. Like I said, on normal.
And if you're starting this game, don't play on normal right away. That's way too easy, even for people that don't really understand what they're doing. Normal is extremely too easy.
It's not even worth.
I would give that to my nephews, my 7-year-old nephews, to play on normal.
Yeah,
but then that would probably be too easy for them too, because they are actually capable of understanding video games.
Right. Just realize that when you go through, the idea is to get to the harder levels or the difficulties of the game. It goes beyond, hard or expert. It goes up into these higher tiers where you get into these things that are called Paragon levels, where you're just the highest as you can or as high as you can get with your character. Now you can level cap at level 70, but that's not the end. You literally are trying to gear your character up, and the higher you are,
you'll unlock all the skills, but your gear can keep on getting.
Yeah,
higher.
It gets higher and higher. And
it gets better. And the good thing is you're just talking about the difficulties, but you forgot to mention the adventure mode.
Yeah, and see, that's
which is another addition to the end game.
And you and I have not gotten that far yet to actually even get to the adventure mode. Yeah.
No, we could have in the PC version, but I never bought the actual expansion.
Oh, that's right. You didn't get the expansion, and I did. But this go round, I hope that we can go through and actually get to the adventure level.
Well, I'll be there. It's just you're gonna be too busy playing Destiny. That's
whatever. Well, when you get there, I will jump in and play it with you because I do want to.
Well, it'll be too late because you're gonna be at level 40. I'm gonna be a badass, and
you
won't be able to hang with me.
Well,
I'll have new friends. You'll be on a Destiny. Like,
If you haven't seen the game, and I'm gonna plug our YouTube channel again, I threw up another Diablo 3. It's not a review. It's just an overview of the game. A little bit talking about the character that I was using as well as the user interface and basically playing it versus playing the PC version. There's a little different, but vast majority, it's all the same. The menus look a little bit different, but pretty much the same.
I would say a little bit different. They look extremely different, especially with the inventory and the gem handling. I found them a little slow and not very nice at first, but after like an hour or two, I got so used to them that I was like a pro.
Yeah, and
I'd go into town, and then I'd have everything either salvaged or sold in probably less than a minute. So it's just getting used to it, especially since I came from the PC version where it's all like on a nice fancy little grid. But saying the same thing, I'm so glad that I don't have to play Tetris with all my inventory.
No, and I think that was kind of the nice part of it, and something that you had brought up to me last night while we were playing is you basically salvage your items, and what I was doing was that I would just go to our blacksmith, is where you salvage the items, to get basically crafting materials to craft new items, and I was just basically going by each one individually and sitting there trying to salvage these items to get the crafting materials. Well, Dave's like...
Which actually takes like 3 or 4 button presses per item.
Yeah. And it was long pressing because you would hit 3 times just to salvage one item.
And I would go in there and do it one time.
Right. And
done.
And what he was doing was that anything that was not good enough for his stats or what he was trying to build his character on, he would just mark it as a junk item. And so...
Which is just a very quick click of the right analog stick.
See, and I didn't know that. So, and then from there, obviously the best part of it was he just went to the salvage area, and he was able to salvage all the junk items all in one shot. So the menu changes and all the stuff is, like I said, I was still learning. But again, if you get a chance, go check out our YouTube channel with the Diablo 3, my overview of it. If you've never played Diablo 3, it's definitely a game to get if you've never played before. It's a lot of fun, and especially it's a lot of fun when you have other friends that you're playing with. And just like Dave was saying, it's a place where you just kick back, relax, you talk smack to each other.
It's an interactive chat room.
Exactly. And you have
of the coolest kind, because you're getting new loot that makes your character look like a badass.
Yeah.
Moving on, hot off the heels of me praising Nintendo for their no DLC for Mario Kart a couple weeks ago, they had an announcement today that had me scratching my head, but at the same time, it's no surprise. The new 3DS has been announced, coming out this fall in Japan, planned for 2015 in Europe and America. Some of the things that are detailed in this is an upgraded CPU, better battery life, micro SD slot over regular SD. Let's see, what else was there? Expanded range of 3D. A little nub which acts as a right analog, which they're calling a C-stick, and 2 more additional buttons on the shoulder.
And your thoughts?
And actually, one more thing.
Oh.
The NFC support, which is right on the screen, so when the Amiibos come out, you don't have to buy an adapter. What do you think?
I have no...
Because I just talked for 5 minutes outlining everything.
I really don't. My son has the first 3DS. I just don't see how they could have improved on this in any other way. I mean, graphically, yeah, I can see maybe improving it with the, they had mentioned that the 3D blur wasn't as bad with the new 3DS, so that'll be kind of nice to see happen. And then with the being able to do kind of like the Skylanders, where you can put your character up there. I can always forget the name, the Amiibos or the Amiibos.
Amiibos.
And and then that character goes into your game as you get to play. All they did was, to me, it just sounds like they're just trying to find a new way to revamp the 3DS. Obviously, they upgraded the CPU to make it faster. I don't see there. I just didn't see a real reason why the 3DS that they have now it's quality. It's a quality product.
Well, the thing is, whenever you turn the 3D slider up all the way on some games, it would chug.
Oh, okay. I never noticed.
So this upgraded CPU would actually, enable the developers to have a little bit more power to work with, which is one of my problems, anyways. Like, as a standalone device, yes, it's cool. But there's a number of things that Nintendo is repeatedly doing wrong with all the devices that they eventually put out. The new 3DS is basically the N64 expansion pack, the Wiimote Plus. It's the device that is going to segregate your audience, and it's already in the books because they have already announced one exclusive for the new 3DS.
Right.
So that means that game is going to have some other special annotation on the back that says that it can be played on a 3DS, a 2DS, and a new 3DS. Which, it's just, they're confusing the marketplace again. And they forget who are the majority of the people that are buying these devices. There are the little kids that are asking for Christmas.
And it's the parent.
Which means that it's the parent that is going out to buy it. Right. And they're like, well, they wrote down a 3DS, but that's the same thing as a new 3DS, right? They just want a new 3DS.
Right.
Not the new 3DS, but a new 3DS. So it's just like, what are you thinking, Nintendo? Who is in charge of your marketing? Seriously.
Well, I don't even think it's about the market. It's just the.
It's the same thing with the Wii U.
Well,
that's why everybody thought the Wii U was just a tablet add-on for your Wii.
Well, and that's the problem.
The messaging is all messed up, and it's dumb.
Well,
it's dumb. Like, I had problems with the 2DS because I didn't know what the market was for that, but guess what? It's okay.
Mm-hmm.
But this new 3DS, what it's going to be called, like, even that little right analog nub, it sits right over the XYAB buttons.
Yeah, it does.
Which makes no sense for somebody like me who already has a hard time holding on to my 3DS.
Well, and because it's a little nub, I got big hands. I mean, that's going to kind of be kind of weird to try to control and kind of use it, especially if you get a chance, take a look at the picture that they show of it. It's kind of pressed in. I mean, it's out, but it's not big enough to where it's comfortable. It looks small enough where you almost have to work at it just to get to the nub, and I just don't see that being a big factor. I mean, yeah, they added a couple of additional buttons on the sides of the 3DS with the nub. There was just no real reason to come out with a new 3DS. This new 3DS, excuse me.
Well, the funny thing is too that there was some people saying, "Hey, Nintendo's actually come out with something new with the 3DS every year, but where was this year's?" And then this was the announcement for the coming this year that it's the new 3DS. It's like, what are they doing? It's just, it's like I said, it's a cool hardware, but the name of it,
they could have named it
the
something
way it's
different.
coming out with it, and they already got exclusives for it. That means that the 3DS I own is basically going to be worthless. It already is. I've already thought about trading in a couple times, and I saw it will trade in for $30.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no. And then you're going to tell me that some of these games are coming out that you're not going to be able to play it on my 3DS?
And what are they saying for the price? Wasn't it like $160, $180 for the new 3DS?
No, they haven't announced anything with the price yet.
Oh, they haven't. Okay, maybe it was something else I was reading.
Like I said, it's only coming out in Japan for this November, I believe it was.
Right.
They are planning on releasing in 2015 for Europe and America, which usually for this kind of release, it's usually March, April time frame. Usually it's like a 4 to 6 month difference between the release for Japan and over here.
Mm-hmm.
There are rumors that it's going to be region free, which the current 3DSs aren't, which would be a big thing. But at the same time, I doubt Nintendo is going to do that because they've always had the region locked devices. Also, note the internet will be filtered, so it's going to be a more kid friendly device.
And I think that's what they were trying to shoot for. I mean,
Well,
most of
the 2DS is the kid-friendly device, though.
They are, but I think they're trying to expand for more of an older age, I guess, a group or what they're trying demographic. That's the word I was looking for. You know, to pick up. You know, yeah, we've got the younger kids, maybe the 5 to the 10-year-olds, but now they're trying to kind of hit the preteens to the teenagers to be able to have the ability to use the internet, but at the same time be able to play the game. So it's almost like a all-in-one functionality for the preteens and still have the nice games that they always wanted to play. So I don't know. For me,
I don't agree with their messaging at all.
No, and I'm with you 100% on that.
And I was a guy that bought an N64 expansion pack.
Why? Why'd you do that?
Why? Because Turok, man.
Ugh.
Turok was awesome on that system.
It was okay.
That in Perfect Dark, where you could play with the AI in multiplayer.
Yeah, I remember Perfect Dark, but I do remember Turok too. But that I just don't see. I mean, Nintendo, you guys need to come out with something bigger and better. I'm just being upfront.
Well, it's not bigger and better. They just got to get their messaging right.
Well, what is their message? That's the problem.
Their message is this new 3DS.
It's not a new message. It's it's
the same crap that they're doing. They have branding problems. The best part of their brand is Nintendo.
It's like a car, dude. There's a couple different versions of a car. You've got the 3DS model with the 4-cylinder engine, and then you've got the new 3DS with the SC Limited Edition with the 6-cylinder engine.
But to add on to that, well, you can only use that certain gas in that new version, but that gas can't be used in the old version. But you can use the gas from the old version in the new version. That's how stupid that is.
Yeah, I have to agree.
And they're using the same name, the new 3DS. Well, I don't know. I thought the 2DS was probably going to be a failure, but it's actually doing okay. But I think the new 3DS, it's already being set up for failure with that name. Hopefully, they change that name when it comes over here into something else. I don't know what they can change it into that the American public will be able to understand at a level where they're like, well, it's just a 3DS, right? What's different from between this and that? It's the same Wii U problem, and it's happening again.
And just like you're saying, what about parents? Parents are going to say, "Well, you've already got a 3DS," and then the kid's going to say, "But mom, it's
a new 3DS.
It's a new 3DS, and it has a new little nub controller or analog stick on the right hand side."
Well, they won't care about that. They'll just say it's a new 3DS. And personally, I haven't heard of kids asking for a 3DS lately. Anyways.
Well,
they've all been asking for iPads
True, and a lot of games, not other than Nintendo games, but I mean, you're going to get the same type of genre or basically that type of game that might be on a Nintendo. There's going to be knockoffs, and they're going to sell on iPads. I mean, you've got huge developers that create knockoff games that are on either on an Xbox or.
Well, you know why the iPad is going to win over a 3DS right now?
Why is that?
The same thing that we talked about earlier, Minecraft.
Oh, Minecraft.
Why isn't Minecraft on a DS?
I don't know.
It seems like a no-brainer, but we got to move off of me being
we're just ranting
very
now.
upset with Nintendo. To go off to another subject that has been kind of big lately. I know we're on two sides of the fence already, but PewDiePie has just announced that he will be disabling comments on his YouTube videos because of negativity, the spamming of websites, self-promotion, and so he's just disabling all of them. And as a person that came from a community management position with Gamertag Radio, I think that it's a bad decision to punish your community as a whole for the other percentage of people that just are there to spam. In other words, hire somebody to go through those comments and get rid of them.
Yeah, but he's
making money. He's making bank.
Nah.
We know this. It's been out there. Hire somebody to handle your comments. That way is your actual real community that cares and wants to communicate with other people that are passionate about your content that you're putting out, still have a place to go and have fun.
You can do that, and I agree with you on that sense. But why, and I'm not pointing fingers, but why does the community have to, and I'm not talking everybody, I'm talking to those people who have to, if you don't, it's the old saying, if you have nothing nice to say, don't say anything at all. Your comments are not affecting him. You understand that. It affected him because the only way it affected him was because he was tired of seeing of the trash. And secondly, guys, if you're going to talk trash, literally read what you're writing. I was dying from all the wording that they put in there. The guy was trying to say account. The way that he spelled it, I don't know.
Hey, you know what? You're not one to talk.
Oh, no. But you know what? I've gotten better to stop and reread even my own stuff now to even catch my stuff.
I wouldn't say you've gotten better. I wouldn't say you've gotten better yet.
If
you could see the stuff that Jamie writes.
Oh, they see it. They see it on Twitter.
No,
but
Twitter is only a very, very small sample.
Look, my point being is that if you're going to say something negative, at least proofread what you're trying to say. I mean, Dave, did you see the video where the guy was trying to say account and it came out a cunt? And I'll bleep it out of this if I have to. But that's my point. You guys, come on. Secondly,
no, it's not even that. It's not even about the spelling or the grammar.
No,
it's the fact. The fact is, if you're gonna bring negativity, bring your opinion. Bring facts. Don't say something sucks. Be educated.
Right.
Have reasons.
Right. And
if you say that, like for you, I'm gonna say Warframe sucks. That this show would not be interesting whatsoever. That's why I said the environments are boring.
Right.
I didn't really dig the gameplay that much. Right. Sure, it might have changed by now, but guess what? It's too late. It's already made its initial impression, and I've moved on.
Yeah.
That game I played 2.5 years ago,
right.
and I have no interest in playing it again this year.
And that's fine.
So that's me explaining why, instead of just saying, well, you're stupid.
Yeah.
You suck.
Yeah.
You know why? Grow the hell up.
Yeah.
That's what I got to tell the internet. And I know it's not going to happen because it's, there is a subset of people, and thankfully, the people that have reached out to me that listen to the show are amazing. They're awesome.
Yeah.
And they listen to us. They haven't made fun. Well, they can make fun of us. I don't really care about that.
But that's part of it.
But we've actually gotten into conversations with people before. I know, I had a conversation with one guy that was actually, I'll call him a kid because he kind of is. He's like 16. He was watching my Twitch stream, and then we started talking on Xbox one night, and I was just telling him certain things that I notice in games, just because, listening to other podcasts have actually broadened my horizons as how I actually approach video games, how I look into the industry, how I am objective towards stuff. And I forget what game we were talking about. He's like, wow, you know what? I've never really thought about that game that way.
Uh-huh.
He's like, I want to go play it again. I want to see some of this stuff. I want to learn. And unfortunately, there's too many people out there that don't want to learn more. They just want to say this sucks.
Well,
And that's just that whole, it's not even a negative attitude.
It's ignorance.
It's not even ignorance though. They're not bringing anything to the table. And if you're not bringing anything to the table, then why do you even do it? It doesn't affect me at all.
Right.
You saying that I suck at a game, I'll just laugh it off.
Right. And understand, people are the community. Understand, he's got so many people. All he's trying to do really is just clean up that area that's taking the, with all the negativity. I guarantee you, he'll go back.
Well, it's negativity and spam.
Yeah, and spam and the negativity. He'll come back and open it up. But all he's trying...
I doubt it.
No, I think he will. But I think what he's trying to do...
I think he's done.
No, I think he's just trying to make a point. And I think he has a very valid point. Not just for him alone, but people that do videos and YouTubing and
it's not even that. It's moved on to gaming industry people, which is a huge thing right now, where people are being, just totally abused on Twitter, game developers and everything.
Oh, yeah.
It's such a shame that a hobby and an industry which can bring so much joy to people,
right,
and smiles and laughs and so much fun is constantly being harassed by people that just are taking their bad days out on everyone
right.
else. And that's one of my takeaways from when I worked retail, is that people just want to make you miserable because they're miserable.
Right.
And that's why I've always held on to that thing, like a code, my own personal code, which is actually a good code. It's not me being a dick. It's me saying, if I'm having a bad day, I'm having a bad day. That's okay. But that doesn't mean that you need to have a bad day.
Well, it's okay to have a bad day, but not press that upon somebody else because you're having
exactly. Like I said, I'm having a bad day. That's okay. I'm gonna withhold that with me.
Right.
I'm not gonna vent on anyone else.
Right.
That's me.
Right.
But I'm not gonna take it on you if I'm having a bad day.
Right.
That's just my code in life.
Well, it's not even cool. It's a good moral. It's a good way to live your life. You're not sitting there pressing your feelings on somebody who, who's actually having a good day. And here you are, what becomes to a vent turns into a rant. And it's like, really, hey, I understand you're having a bad day. Okay, it's time to let that go or keep that to yourself type of deal, because now you're pressing that upon me. And, we can always tell that when we're having bad days or we're having crappy days. And
No. People themselves can never tell. There's some people that can't tell. Like, I had one lady screaming at the top of her lungs at me. She didn't realize she was yelling at me. So there's people out there that don't realize what they're doing.
True, there are those people out there. What I want you guys to realize, you can understand, we come on, whether recording, whether it's live, we do this for you guys. If it wasn't for...
No.
No, it is.
Now you're lying.
Huh?
No, I'm calling you out. We're doing it for both of us. We're doing it for everybody and us because this is fun.
Well, no, I was getting to that point. You stopped me ahead of time, but...
No, it's too late. You're already lying. You tell them that we're only doing it for them, but that's not the truth. Because they could stop listening. I bet you we'll still keep on doing this.
True, because we enjoy what we're doing, but what makes us enjoy what we're doing is that we're doing this for people who end up watching us because they enjoy watching us. Or listening to us. Either way, if we can create a decent conversation, a discussion, so to say, that is, people are willing to learn and willing to accept that other people's opinions are differing from their own. It just does, even if that opinion is different from yours, it doesn't mean it's wrong. Right.
So just be honest with yourself. That's all you got to do.
Yeah, and sometimes that's hard for people. That really is hard for people.
Yeah, but you know what I'm going to do right now?
What was that?
I'm going to ask you to be honest when you review your Samsung Galaxy Gear 2 watch.
Okay, so I ended up getting one, and I have had one for a while, and
define a while. You've had it for what, almost a month now?
Yeah, I've had it for about 1 month now. I've been looking into them for a while, and there was the Samsung Galaxy Gear, and then they came out with the Gear 2, which I just recently picked up a month ago. I have to admit, I was kind of leery at first, but once I got it, I got it because I got it for what I wanted it to do for me.
Okay, a little tangent real quick. What do you have it paired up to? What is your cell phone right now?
Okay, well, basically, obviously, the Samsung Galaxy pairs up to only the Samsung Galaxy, and you can pair it up to the 2, the 3, and the 4 and the 5. Unfortunately, as the later versions that you get, or excuse me, the earlier versions that you have, the less functionality you have of that watch.
Of course, that's kind of acceptable because, different hardware and different capabilities through Bluetooth and all that fun stuff.
What's kind of nice about it, the version, there's a couple different versions of it. There's one that's just the Gear, which is the Gear 2, which has a camera. I have the one with the camera. There's one that does not have a camera. Then
So that's like a spy watch.
Yeah, it's actually kind of cool. The resolution is a 2 megapixel camera on it, which is pretty decent. It looks really good. It's really crisp. It's not bad for a 2 megapixel camera. It also does video off of it as well. So it's not perfect, but it does really well.
Now, is there like a memory device on the watch, or does that all just instantly get transferred over to your cell phone?
No, there is a memory card or a memory chip in it. Mine is a 32 gig memory chip in it. But it also transfers the pictures and stuff as well over to your phone as well. So you kind of have them in both places. You can delete it off your watch and it'll be gone, but it'll still be on your phone. So just depends on what you want. It also has Bluetooth capability. I think it's Bluetooth 3.0, which gives the ability to, if you wanted to leave your phone at home, you can connect your headphones to your watch and download the music that you had on your phone onto your watch. So now you've got your music playlist on your watch, and now you've connected your headset. So now you're running.
Yeah, that means you've already downloaded your music before you separated the watch and the cell phone.
Correct. Yeah, it's already.
Okay.
You've already done that, and you can do that just by pairing the two. They have the Galaxy Gear app that's on the phone. Basically, that's where all the configuration is on the phone. You can actually change the face of the watch. You can change, basically what's on the front of basically the front of the face of the watch. There's like a little home page on the watch, and then you have 3 other different tiles that you can flip through that have different applications. Some are the settings. One might be they actually have a whole health center where you can have exercise, your pedometer, and the exercising, it'll cover hiking, walking, cycling, and I think there's another one. I can't remember what that is. So they've got these vast different applications that are built into the watch, as well as they're actually creating applications for the watch already. They just finished creating a mini keyboard that now I can actually type on my watch to text back.
Yeah, with your big hot dog fingers, you can be typing on your watch. Yeah, sure, sir.
No,
whatever you say.
It's not bad. It's not as bad as I thought it was going to be. Obviously, like Dave was saying, my big fat fingers that I have, if you can't do that, you can do speech to text, which works really well. It had problems at first, but they've been doing little patch updates to it, and they fixed a lot of those problems. So now as I'm driving along, I can just, once the text comes, it comes to my watch, it automatically pops up.
You know what? Please do that more often, because that'll fix a lot of your spelling mistakes, and maybe I'll make sense of some of your text messages, unlike the ones that I got last week.
Yeah, I was actually texting, and I was doing it fast. But
yeah, I know. I know when you're writing, whatnot. I have at least 2 questions for you. Sure. As a person that I do have an Android phone. I don't have a Galaxy yet, but I'm due within like 3 months to get a new phone.
Uh-huh.
As a person that, when I'm wearing a watch, I don't want to pay too much money because I know it's going to hit up against stuff no matter how hard I try. Mm-hmm. So how much was that 32 gigabyte Galaxy Gear 2 watch?
Well, the one that I got with the camera is $299. You can buy the one without the camera, and it's $199. So
yep, it's actually not that bad for a watch. That goes on to my second question. Right now, my watch, the battery's dead. So how does the battery function in your watch? Is it just a plug-in to the wall kind of thing, or is there actual like a watch battery inside of it?
No. It plugs into wall. It has its own lithium ion battery in it. What happens is that there's a little cradle that plugs into a little mini SD power supply, and that cradle fits on the back side of your watch that connects, basically snaps onto your watch, and that's how it charges.
And how do you find that battery life to be?
Actually, it'll last me about 3 to 4 days, depending on
3 to 4. That's actually very impressive because you do use your phone a lot while you're at work because you're lazy. But
the watch side of it, I can probably get 4 days out of it if I'm not doing a lot. If I am doing a lot, my max is probably 3 days.
That is still a decent amount.
It is. It's still a great decent amount. My soon-to-be wife, Wendy, she's got the Samsung Galaxy Fit, which is the skinnier one that's mostly meant for working out and stuff like that. She can almost get 5 days out of that thing before she has to plug it in. So they did a really good job on making sure that the battery life is pretty decent in it. It has a lot of great functionality. So if you're looking for something high tech and you think you're going to get all these great, wonderful things, you are, but just remember it's still new and it's still being worked on. They're building apps for this thing constantly. I got news apps. They actually have a Pac-Man game that you can actually put on the watch now. I haven't tried it yet.
I'm surprised that there's a Snake game. Usually Nokia phones used to have the Snake game on every phone.
They actually have that there too. So they have Pac-Man and Snake, and I think there's one other game. But the Samsung Galaxy Gear 2 watch, for me, if you want something high-techy and something the people talk about, it's the way to go. It's a good watch. I've not had any problems. The glass on it is a type of Gorilla Glass.
Gorilla Glass, yes.
And the nice thing, too, for protecting it, I can't remember the company. I think it's called Shield is the name of the company that creates basically the little covers that go over the top of the phones that you guys have. They actually made one for the watch. So if you feel leery that you tend to bump your watch a lot, they actually have a cover that goes over the top of it. Not a cover, but like a little plastic cover that goes over the top of the watch face, and it protects it pretty well. So I would recommend this watch.
One final question, because
sure.
I also have a hard time when I buy a watch to find something that is stylish enough to be worn at any kind of function. Would you wear that watch to your wedding in next month?
No.
You wouldn't. So, okay, so it's more of a everyday watch as opposed to a special occasion kind of watch.
Yeah.
Okay.
You can change the face of the watches. Some you can have the digital
face.
face.
But it's not about the face. It's about the whole package around the outside of it and stuff like that.
If you're talking about the wristband, it's a rubberized, kind of textured on the front side, but more of a rubberized on the outside. So, it's really meant for an all-day watch.
It's an everyday watch. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. That kind of sums up all my questions. So it was $199 for the watch without the camera and $299 with the camera.
Correct. Now, other thing too.
Is that a different memory change too?
No, it's all the same.
Really?
Yeah, all the same. The other thing too, just people want to know, it actually can go in water. So you get up to, I think it's 1 meter. That you can go in underwater for about 1 meter. It'll last for about a couple hours, but you stay underwater longer than a couple hours with that watch.
So in other words, it's good to track your swimming laps.
Yeah, you can do all that stuff. I mean, if you go in a pool with it, you're fine. No big deal. But
it's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's pretty nice watch.
Still not really the market for me to buy something like that, but cool regardless. So we're gonna slowly crawl to an end with this episode. Just wanted to bring up that this Thursday at 9:30 p.m. Pacific, we will be playing Forza 5 for BitLapse Brawl. If you would like to join us, please hit me up on Xbox One at David2Sly. You're Jamie or Sparky on that? I forget.
I'm still Sparky7474.
Okay, so David2Sly or Sparky7474, hit us up if you want to join us. It's going to be me, Jamie, and Kyle. So if you want to get in on some racing with some people that aren't going to hit you on purpose And JB's laughing like a little girl because
Look,
he always says, "It's not my fault, it's not my fault." Then you go back and watch the tape, and it is clearly his fault every single time. He's that old lady on the road. But please join us, because it will be fun. And it's always good to get into a semi-simulation racing game with people that are in a like-minded state, just not trying to wreck people and have fun generally. And yes, I am going to try to win.
it's about clean racing, and that's what we like. That's our fun for us, is if you can beat me by doing something clean instead of doing something dirty by hitting me or knocking me off the road or pushing me past a turn. Hey, you know what? I've got more props for you. The fact that you were able to hold your line and get around me and not even touch me. You know what? I can totally appreciate that, and I would be honored to keep racing with you more often than somebody who think the best way to win is to push me off the radar or tap me and say, "Oh, I didn't do it. It wasn't me," or "It was my fault."
Well, a tap is okay. It depends on where you tap the person and when that you tap the person.
True.
Like me coming up on a straightaway, I'm going faster than you. I give you a little tap. That's just let you know I'm there.
Yeah, thanks.
And then you hate it when I do that because I just ride that bumper the entire way.
Well, guys, I think that's the end of the show tonight. Don't forget that you can actually you can find us on Twitter. You can find me at JamieS7474.
I'm at David Too Sly, as usual. You can also catch us at BitLapse.com, where you can find links to our YouTube channel, our RSS feed, even the Stitcher radio. Because, yes, we are on Stitcher, just trying to make it easier for everybody to find us. Also, we're on iTunes. Thinking about that, too. So we have so many ways for you to actually get in touch with us, to listen to our content, and please provide feedback, leave comments. We like to create discussions. Even if Jamie's always wrong. That is also a discussion within itself. Anyways, thank you for listening, and please join us again.
Thanks a lot,
Bye.
guys. Appreciate it.